Hey Saggy, how are ya? Welcome to your July 2018 guidance reading. Welcome to the Lumiere channel. Okay. I give guidance readings, right? So, yeah, sometimes they will tell a story, but I'm mostly asking for guidance, and of course they'll give me like some sort of background and history, and the like. Oh, I should do something different. I didn't do it for the others. It's fine. I was gonna do first decan, second decan, third decan. Guidance, but perhaps next time. Okay. Guidance for Sagittarius. For my Sagittarians in July 2018, please. Okay. That's interesting. Makes sense. Okay. Wishes. And all our wishes will come true. Oof. Alright, I'm done here. So, this is about you and the company you're keeping, the group you're in. This is about relationships, but it feels, it doesn't just feel, it is about a group of people, some sort of standard, like a long-standing standard, and you feeling secluded from the group. Maybe it's a church group, maybe it's a spiritual group, you feeling almost left behind. Maybe you thought that it was something's rotten, but for some of you about this scenario, these people, but for most you thought it would be something that it's not. It's not what you expected. Yeah. Yep. Okay. And something about this situation makes you feel unattractive. So I feel like you recently either not moved, but you're in this group. Is it a group? It feels like it could be a group, and you feel like you've been left alone. It could be spiritually. You feel spiritually abandoned. Or you're overworking yourself, trying to be too perfect. Whoa. Oh, there you are. Yeah. The one card you got in reverse in protection is higher power. So I'm going to read that to you first. Let's see what that has. And then I'll tell you the rest of the cards that are here. You might be between worlds. Something may not be for you right now, honestly. Or you think it's not for you, but your guidance is asking you to just kind of listen because you're in the midst of a storm, and so making any rash decisions right now may not be the best choice for you. You've released from something. You've let go of something. Okay. The cards in protection are higher power, attraction, details, codependency, and love yourself first. So already right off the bat, I can see you're being hard on yourself and you're not taking care of you. Quite possibly beating yourself up over being in this scenario, being in this situation with these people, or this situation in particular that's you having to do things a certain way. And oh, that's cute. And you freaking out over it. Okay, you know what? If you've been freaking out over something that you need to do and you've needed to do it in a certain way, right? You've needed to do it cuz all right, the upright cards here for you are by the book, orphaned, to be fair, all that glitters, listening. To me that tells me that in the alternate story, there's something that if there's a group of people and if that's a story that hits, cool. Here, in this other story, there's this thing, this situation that is maybe hard, cumbersome. Maybe it even has to do with law, like for the membership, you can't just make stuff. When you start a channel like this, you have to be clear that what you're giving is an advice. It's entertainment. It's not real. It's all of these things as a reader, because people will come back at you and say, you told me to do this, when people have their own sovereignty, right? As I always say, like, you have your own sovereignty. You make the choice that you want to make for yourself. Don't come for me, because you are making the choice. So for certain places, they have like policies, terms and conditions, and things like that to safeguard them. So there might be something to that effect. That's what I mean by like law. Something that is about justice, something that's about being fair, some sort of structures. I'm feeling like a structure, some sort of establishment, some sort of like thing. This could be like if it is about weddings or getting married. It's like you gotta get married in a church. You need the white dress. You need the not the tux, gross. You need like a suit. I don't like tuxes. I don't like bow ties. Rather, you need the musician. You need the piano. You need the canon, Pachelbel's canon. There's those structures, doing things by the book, being to the T, being fair about this, having the right things that need to be there. If you're landscaping, you need to get these perennial flowers or annual flowers and put them here because they go, that kind of thing. If you're in the new job, you need to, you know where this goes, right? The essence of it is like there's some structures that are followed, and you might be feeling a little overwhelmed, or you might be feeling a little left behind in these things. So maybe something happened, and I'm thinking that it's interesting. It might not be as hard as you are making it out to be, because the details card in protection tells me that things don't have to be perfect. On the one hand, in the beginning of the reading with the attraction in reverse and love yourself in reverse and codependency in reverse, I'm seeing you are going down on yourself. You are being down on yourself. You are like crucifying yourself, and you still might be, right? Layers, because the details in reverse is talking about being too much of a perfectionist. This situation is calling for you to not be a perfectionist. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling, and that's what I'm going to stick to. It's saying you don't have to do things perfectly. You don't have to do things necessarily as close to the book as you think. By the book is not in reverse. So it does feel like, yes, follow the structures that are around. It's just that it might not be as hard as you think. Yeah, it might not be as hard. It's a very weird message that I'm getting. It might not be as hard as you think. Okay? Listen to yourself and move with that. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, This might be a new position, a new transition for you, a new community, a new type situation, and you want it to be perfect. But right now it seems like imperfection is called for. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What's 8? Just tribe. Yeah. It might be in an organization with people, or just wherever people are for you. What is 8? Yeah, I know that. Got come together. Yeah. It doesn't feel like things are. It feels like you're freaking out, dude. Higher power and protection says now is a time to examine what you're giving energy and attention to in the back of your mind. If you're obsessing about being right, about old resentments or failed expectations, about money or about any other people, places, or things, those will be the source from which you create. But you want spirit to be your source. Take heart, for your higher power will never desert you, and is always waiting for you to remember the sacred partnership you share. Turn away from other sources of power that don't serve your highest good. There is no greater source than spirit. You can always surrender your troubles and trust that you'll be taken care of. You are in good hands. And you don't believe that. You don't believe you're in good hands because I'm sensing overwhelm from the orphaned card, feeling abandoned, and I feel like there's just a lot for you to do. I'm going to read the prosperity message. It says this card reminds you that you can't be all things to all people. You're not going to be popular with everyone, and that has to be okay with you. Be clear about your mission, your brand, your persona, and your contribution to the world, as these must be based on what you authentically have to offer, not something you think you will sell or you perceive they might want. You will attract abundance by being completely yourself. Stay in your own lane. That's where you will shine and where you'll experience prosperity. So the guidance saying be imperfect in what you do is tricky. And I hope that it helps alleviate, though, whatever's going on with you. Because the by the book says, do things by the book, follow the natural order of things, follow the natural progression of things. It's about doing things again by the book, but then details talks about imperfection. Now, unless this card is feeling in the upright, it might be for others of you, like, this might be flirt. Okay, this might be do things do things lightly, right? Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, like to the T, to the grind, like to the actual, part, like that's gonna be really hard and is adding more pressure to yourself than anything. It's just that you might want to look at the details more so. Like look at the broader things that need to be done. If you need to delegate. If you need to set some things aside for others. By the book talks about natural laws too, like attraction and karma and compensation and da-da-da-da-da. Learn those laws and use them in this situation. It says submit to structure and follow the rules even if they seem to make no sense. Release resistance. I'm going to clarify this for you. I'm going to clarify this details, because it's either... I'm having trouble finding the words to say it, because it's either that you need to imperfectly do it by the book. I'm not saying do a shoddy job. Let me find the descriptor. I might actually say it a little bit much better than I could. Because, like, I don't believe that it's in the... Heed the gentle warning that perfectionism will not lead you to what you desire, but instead steer you away from it. Nothing will be good enough when you become obsessed with being perfect. And the obsession is here by codependency, but it almost feels like Perhaps you realize that. Or you're fighting it. See, that's the spectrum. For some of you, on the one side of the spectrum, some of you realize that, you know what? I can't possibly do all of this work, whatever this thing is, the way I've been doing it. For some of you, you're still fighting it. So I feel like that's, again, it's like I'm feeling the spectrum. No one can ever measure up to your scrutiny, and nothing that you can ever do will assuage that general feeling of not being up to par, and that's hereby orphaned. You're perfect already, just as you are. Reversed, it says, it challenges you to accept things as they are in all their imperfections, to step into the world and engage it without any expectations. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Which, if the higher power is talking about obsession and whatever it is that you're thinking about is your higher power, then, tell me about this card for these people here for this month. My Saggies. Massagrians. I don't know why I say it like that. Massagrians. Okay, it says you deserve love and playfulness in reverse. So, and religious factors in reverse. Yeah, I'm gonna say that it's to realize exactly what the card said. To be open to how things can be done. Like, just because things need to be done by the book, and just because things need to be done a certain way, does not necessarily mean that they have to be, that there aren't other ways to do that. Aren't more creative ways to do that. I need to consider options. That's a to be fair. So there might be other options for you than what you've possibly pigeonholed yourself in. Because Stormfields is here, so you're not really feeling up to it. But then also you're not feeling very attractive here, man. I'm like the orphaned. There's something here. So if this isn't about like, going back to the beginning of the read, if this isn't about like work or some sort of career move or some sort of home thing, if this is about relationship, yeah, there's a way to there's another way for you to go about whatever this situation is for you in a way that, because it says love yourself first came out and you deserve love came out. So you do deserve love, and if you're not getting it from someone else, see what it is that you're not getting from that person or that relationship and give it to yourself, and perhaps that will then circulate back to you. Because I'm seeing codependency is reading in two ways. For some of you, you've realized something and you're feeling like you have to abandon that situation, that you have to leave that situation, and in that you are being abandoned. Trusting in divine timing is here. Yeah. Not for you finally came out. That's just number 6 that I was looking at. Yeah. That's funny. Earlier I was talking about numbers 4, 5, 6, and I was like, oh, what's 6? And I saw it in the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. It's the Not For You card, but 6 was represented to me by All That Glitters for some reason, and 7 was here by Details. So anyway, you don't care about that. I feel like whatever the situation is, the kind of ultimate advice is not ultimate advice. It's for you to surrender to how you think things should be. For you to surrender to pigeonholing yourself to how many other ways or what other options are available to you in mitigating this circumstance. So it's for you to surrender, because Not For You is about surrender, and it came out in the protection, so it's like a heavy surrender. For you to surrender however way you've been doing things, in whatever situation this is, it could be like just all of life, and find an alternative way. Now, you might be saying, Luce, if I knew about an alternative way, I would have looked for it. But here's the thing. Sometimes we get so pigeonholed in a certain way of how things should be, how we should do things, that we close ourselves off to other ideas. Now, when we open ourselves up to other ideas, they start coming in, because now we're being moved by a higher power. Right now, you're not being moved by a higher power. Right now, you're blocking your highest self from leading you through the situation. It's flowing. from you leading you through this situation in a way that is unique to you, in a way that is creative to you, and your circumstances to lead you out of the storm fields, whatever the situation is, and back into loving yourself and feeling that you do deserve love and getting back to play. I think I was getting the flirt card about keeping it light. So yeah, keep yeah. Keep it light and see what comes to mind about this alternative way for you to do this. Can we have maybe some guidance on that? Something to help my Sag ladies? If you're a Sag dude watching this, hi, if it resonated so far. Look, stick around. No place like home. Come through. Okay, I was literally just looking at this for myself. It's no place like home in the reverse. So this says the familiar is not your friend. The familiar is not your friend. Whatever is unfamiliar is what you need to go towards. Whatever is unfamiliar is the thing that you ought to give a chance to. Yeah. Analysis paralysis. I'm looking at 44. So whatever the unfamiliar thing to do is a choice. I hope that settles well with you and whatever that looks like for you. Let me see what else this could be. Yeah. Choose something unfamiliar and trust that there you will find a new normal that supports your spirit. Come through. Alright, honey. Keep your light on. Good luck. If you need a private reading, the information is below. I'd love for you to comment and let me know what's going on with you. And subscribe if you found value here, if you're new. Until then, see you next time. Bye!